Yes. Hold it. Hold it nervously. Hey, Blue Table fans! Hold on. Let's let him see my beautiful face. All right. That's enough of that. Oh, we still didn't think of topics. Wow. Well, let's just wing it. Because I keep like I want to get the camera on. I'm like, camera's on. Camera's
okay.
on.
To watch.
Camera's on. No preparation. So we're here with Veronica and Tom.
Yes.
And you guys are a couple.
Yeah, we live together.
So the fans will be interested. Oh, that's so sweet. And you guys get along really well. Yeah. Like I'm an expert at relationships.
Oh, good.
And you guys are doing pretty good.
Well, we work together all day.
And where are you guys from?
Originally Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio.
The Cleve.
No one
So we're used to the snow.
I've heard it's like a super friendly town. Like it's a great place to live.
It's cool. They've got a lot of cool things going on.
So there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
What's the population?
Oh gosh.
I mean,
is it bigger or smaller than Salt Lake?
Definitely smaller than Salt Lake.
Yeah, it used to be like really poppin', but then it went downhill and just got to be kind of like a garbage city. And right now they're sort of rebuilding from it being.
Wow,
like
a garbage city.
Yeah, well, the lake caught on fire, and you know there are just some things happened, and it's really cold there. So I don't think a lot of people like to live there because it's really cloudy. Like the lake effect comes and makes clouds over Cleveland, and I think it's cloudy like 86% of the time there.
Oh, that sounds like a paradise.
It was right in the year.
Yeah, so some people.
So it's wet
a lot
and
of
cold.
people moved out.
Pretty much.
Really?
It's a slush season.
Yeah,
There's
but it's a cool city.
Like,
There's a lot going on as far as like the art scene and the music scene. You know, Cleveland has like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and when I was younger, I used to go to like 2 concerts a month because just everyone rolls through Cleveland.
Yeah, you were telling me that you and your friend would go to 2
all
concerts a month.
Yeah.
That's a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. Fans, chime up if you've got Veronica beat.
There's not a lot going on.
I don't think you can do it.
Yeah, there really wasn't much else going on, but there were a lot of concerts.
Were you guys together? Did you know each other during this time?
We went to the same high school, but we didn't
Oh,
start
you guys went to the
dating
same high school.
immediately
And you're both
after high
26, right?
Yeah, 25.
25, 26. Oh, you're so young. That's so sweet. Okay, so, and then from Cleveland to where?
I went to school in Savannah, Georgia, where it was sunny and hot and very different from the good old north. Yeah. And
did you like it when you got to Georgia? You were like, yeah, Georgia.
It was warm. I liked that for a little
some
bit.
peaches.
It's humidity though too.
Yeah.
It's not just
in the
heat,
summer, it would like
humidity.
pour rain like once a day. You know how it is if you've ever been to Florida or whatever. Just like it'll just rain in the afternoon and then it's sunny again like a half an hour later. Well, in Georgia,
and then it's just humid.
Yeah, and it was like you know, like 100% humidity. So I was done with that pretty quickly. But yeah, I went to college there, and then he moved down with me, and then we moved out.
How long were you guys apart?
We did the long distance thing for like 4 or 5 years.
Like
long distance is terrible.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but we both played video games.
Did you say 4 or 5 years?
4 or 5. Yeah, or maybe it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4, I think.
Okay, hold on. I just gotta ask, were there any other relationships during that time?
Not
Did
for
you
me,
like
I
take
don't
a
know.
break or something?
No, we broke up.
Yeah.
Like twice.
It was really hard,
okay.
but
Just
like
'cause
neither of
it was
us
a struggle,
ever
but-
dated anyone else when we were broken up.
You're
But that's why we got back together. We were like, ah,
I love
missed
you after
so
all.
much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
All
went our
right.
separate ways, moped for like a month. Yeah, it's better with you than without you. So
That's interesting.
It worked out. But I felt like I had to give it a chance, you know, like just in case, because it was really hard doing long distance. So I was like, well, how about we just break up then? Maybe it'll be better.
well, yeah, especially all through college. It's just.
But it didn't hurt less.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, okay. That's really interesting. All right. When we're done, I'll tell you about something that's sort of sparking in my mind. I'm really interested in this phenomenon. Okay. So you guys have worked at Blue Table Painting for like a year, feels like.
A year or more.
That's awesome. Thank you, by the way. I've noticed that my turnaround is like getting lower and lower. And it used to bother me if it was like people didn't stay very long, like, hey, what's wrong? But you know, that's just how it is. That's just So now that I've stopped worrying about it, it's sort of stabilized, I guess. So that's really cool. So Veronica is a fine arts major. Like,
Animation.
your art is incredible.
Yes, if you say so.
I do. I very much do say so. Well, continue. Tell us about your art. Tell us. I'd like your art background. This is more like an interview, isn't it? All right.
I guess so.
That's all right.
I've been painting since I guess for maybe like 15 years now. I started when I was young. And it just happened to be that my first painting was pretty good. Everyone was like, wow! And I was like, wow, maybe I should do this more. So I did. And that's basically how I got into painting. I just kept getting art supplies as a kid and I kept using them. And then I went to art school. I didn't want to major in painting because it seemed like a bad way to spend
Wait, you can
money.
major in just painting specifically?
You can if you've already got a lot of money and nothing else to do. You can do that.
That's awesome.
But I
My degree
majored
is in painting.
3D animation because I wanted to learn how to do something with my time. But I did minor in painting just for, to get the degree. And it was a really interesting experience.
So would you consider yourself more of a painter than a 3D animator?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for much longer. I feel like I know a lot about painting with all of the different types of paint, on different surfaces, whether it's, a mural or oil paint, etc. So I'd say that like my skill level and knowledge of painting is much higher because there's a lot to learn still, in 3D animation. And it's hard to find like a full-time job in, so a lot of times it's just like an odd job here and there. Whereas I was lucky enough to have a couple of jobs painting, which is weird enough, but I used to teach those little painting classes for this company called Wine and Canvas, and
Yeah, like paint night.
yeah, exactly, and like it was cool. I was allowed to drink on the job, which was fun, and it was all like a lot of middle-aged women, and they'd all go away to get away from their husbands, and so everyone just kind of got a little rowdy, and it was kind of a fun job. I don't know, it was weird, but I wasn't like making fine art, but it was kind of fun teaching people how to paint.
I think paint night's where it's at.
Yeah, it's just like that.
I think I've been to two, and it's good.
I've never been to one.
It's a lot of fun.
I've taught a lot of them.
That's great. All right, well, okay, so now your turn, Tom, but before we launch into Tom here, now you guys don't notice this, but you're slowly like migrating that, like Tom's like trying to get off camera. He's inching away. All right, so a couple things. I totally lost my train of thought. What the heck? All right, oh well.
That's what editing's for.
So, yeah. Artist teams. So right about when you guys came on, I struck on the idea of like, hey, wouldn't it be great if not only did I do my regular thing of bringing artists on, but I looked for teams. Like right now I have a father-son team.
Ooh.
And I've got, that's Rick, who you guys have met, right?
I know Rick.
Rick is the boss.
And he's the master. And it's funny because I was talking with a female friend, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm a Zen master now because I'm so calm. And she's like, Sean, you are not calm. Rick is a Zen master. I'm like, what? Oh, brutal, but it's true.
Yeah.
He's like a big old bear sort of walking through the woods, scooping up berries, scooping up the field mice and popping them on the head. All right, so anyway, so you guys have been a really great team, and Tom does assembly. And
obviously she paints.
Yeah, it's been really great. So I can just give them something and la-la, it's done. Yeah. And Veronica does great high-end work. Like your stuff is really good. You're doing most of our like level 5, 6, 7. So anyway, so Tom, what's your deal? Like what were you doing while she was in Georgia?
I was going to school. I was pretty indecisive, so I went to school for graphic design, then nursing, and then computer science.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That turns into a whole lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Ended up not finishing any of it and just moving down with her to Savannah. So
okay.
Just been working since then.
Well, I'm all for dropping out of college.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best.
Yeah, I was just indecisive, so it just seemed like a waste of time.
Yeah.
I should just do something, and then maybe I'll see what I want to do.
So, but what's your real talent?
Probably
Of any
computers.
kind.
Computers
Oh,
are
okay.
a big thing I like to do. Yeah, obviously that helps just sitting all day just watching Netflix or whatever, doing this job while I assemble. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is great. It's like really super low key,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, no, it's
All right.
perfect.
And you guys are night owls.
Big time.
So what is the schedule? Before we get to we're getting to Starfinder.
It changes a lot because there doesn't ever have to be a schedule, but sometimes we'll need to do things during the day, and so we'll need to kind of switch our schedule up so that we'll be awake. But what I found that we do is we just always push it a couple hours later. Like we never go to, if we went to bed at 9 p.m. one night, we'll go to bed at 11 p.m. the next night, and then like 1 p.m. You know, like it's just always like whatever it was the day before, it's a little bit later. So sometimes that results in us going to bed at like 7 in the morning or
There it is.
6 p.m.
What I'm imagining in my mind is you guys are literally up all night.
That's
Right.
mostly how it is.
Usually, yeah.
But then
we tend to cycle.
yeah, because sometimes I need to
sometimes-
do things during the day, you know? Like I'll have someone be like, I need to meet with you at noon, and I'm like, oh.
Well, that's
okay.
me.
And so sometimes it kind of like, I'll push it where instead of going to bed at my bedtime at like 7 a.m., I'll stay up until 2 p.m. and then, you know, I kind of like.
2 a.m. you mean?
No, I mean 2
2 p.m.
Right, like I'll go to
You
my
just won't
meeting,
go to sleep.
and then I'll come home and go to bed
Ah,
afterwards.
jeez.
So it never makes sense.
Well, you guys need to let me know this when I'm like, come at 11:15, you know?
I mean,
We
I'm
work.
not
So wait a
gonna-
minute, did you guys
Yeah.
sleep last night? Is this one of those days? Okay,
This is
so
a
you
normal
did.
day. We just
Okay.
we woke up at like 10, so
All right, interesting.
it just
And I
changes
get a
all
lot
the
of that. A
time.
lot of my artists are like, they start their shift at 10 p.m. and end at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I like
It's
working
like-
at night. It's quiet, you know.
Well, for us, it always seems like there's more to do. So we just want to stay up another hour and a half, another half an hour, and then we do that every single day of our
Yeah.
lives, and we just kind of.
It doesn't really matter though,
Circle
you know.
around.
Like if you could sleep whenever, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
When you're
Yeah.
awake, I find.
Well, it's one of the perks.
Definitely one of
Yeah,
the
like you
major
don't get
perks.
that elsewhere. All right. So let's talk about Starfinder.
Yeah.
I am super excited for Starfinder. Yeah. All right. So go ahead. Well, start with We had a Pathfinder game. So give me your take, because I've talked to the fans about Pathfinder.
Yeah,
What's
so
your take?
We started with Sean game mastering Pathfinder, and it was just a lot for all of us. We're playing with some kids. I've never played Pathfinder myself before, and it was just a deep end. It was
Yeah,
stat,
the only
very
experience
stat.
I
But it
had
lasted. You guys showed up.
We had a
every
lot of
week,
fun
and it
doing
seemed
it.
like
It just,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a complete blasphemy on how the game's actually supposed to be played.
Just as a transition into Starfinder, though, Starfinder seems much more streamlined than Pathfinder. I think I like it a lot more personally already.
There's
than
less
Pathfinder.
going on. There aren't like 50 books yet, you know.
Yeah.
50 is not too far off. You need at least 20 books to have everything you really need.
Right.
And then, but if you count all the little supplements and stuff, then yeah, it's clocking about 50 things you got to buy for it.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So Tom is running our Starfinder campaign.
No. Hold on. So Pathfinder,
Right.
how was it?
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Bear in mind, I'm standing right here.
Yeah, no, we did the whole Emerald Spire campaign.
Yeah, if you
Campaign
ever
setting.
wanted to know what it was like to basically be a god and talk to your god and ride a unicorn and own a dragon, it was like that level of crazy. Like, we
My
were
campaigns are
basically-
pretty OP.
We were unstoppable. I mean, we leveled up after every time we played, so by the end we were like level 16 or 17,
Yeah.
and he gave his son a dragon, so he's trying to make, you know, Sean's trying to make things that challenge us, and we're like,
I just couldn't do it.
I mean, we're
It's
like,
impossible.
Every time I come, I'd be behind the curve every
plus,
session.
he let us play multiple characters, so he played a paladin and a cleric, and then someone else had like a mage and a fighter, and so it was like an 8-person
brawl.
party
Yeah.
and a pet dragon. It was nuts. I mean, there was no stopping us. It was just kind of like we just were.
But we were rocking it.
destroying
I gave you guys
everything.
like 7 minutes to finish everybody's turn, and
Yeah.
you did it.
Yeah. No, we got efficient, but
Yeah. But as far as the rules go, I don't really feel like I learned as much about the rules as I guess I should have if I was going to really take Pathfinder seriously in the future.
I realized I'm a completely inadequate Pathfinder DM.
Well,
Like I couldn't run a serious group. I couldn't do it. It's so much to research after, especially at high levels.
Ultimate equipment.
Like I'd have to spend like 4 hours just looking up all the feats and all the magic of all the villains and monsters and stuff.
Which is why I like the Glass Cannon podcast. You guys should listen to it. It's so good. They play Pathfinder, and then they actually care about the rules. They're actually sponsored by Paizo now. And it's just fantastic hearing them argue and learn about the rules as they go. I felt like I learned more listening to that podcast than I did actually playing Pathfinder. So, it's really good.
Yeah, Glass Cannon's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, my games tend to get out of hand pretty quick.
Yeah.
And you're not the first person to be a player in my game going, yes, but Sean, the rules. The rules that say you can and can't do things. I'm like, I'm going to allow you to do this. I'm going to allow this,
For Paladin, never need to roll a d20.
I got a wish from a genie.
Actually, Veronica has a couple of the greatest moments in the campaign where the party gets a wish, right? And Veronica's character thinks they each get a wish. So she pipes up, she's like, I wish I would always hit. Or however you phrased it.
I want to always hit my target.
She got it. So she never had all her attacks automatically hit.
Everyone else was really mad at me because apparently it was only the one wish.
She jumped in and hogged the whole thing.
I mean, consequently, I could never miss. So while Sean was taking his turn, I just would roll all my damage. And it would come around to my turn, I'd be like, I do 83 damage. Because I knew I always hit. So it kind of took a little bit of the... chance out of the game.
It was wild. And then the other great Veronica's Paladin moment was they go into the Underdark to this fungal forest, and there's this demon. They're fighting this demon. The demon guy makes this huge evil person speech, and Veronica's Paladin is like her shining moment was, we came down a tunnel to get here. That was like her battle cry.
He's just trying to make it sound like he's in some like crazy other dimension. I'm like, I literally walked here through a tunnel. I don't know what you're trying to pretend like you're so special for. Like living in a hole.
It was great. We had a really good time. We started at 3rd level, I think it was, and already completely overpowered for the level.
A feat every level.
Yeah, that's my thing.
A skill point every level.
Yeah.
And we started off with
you get to increase a characteristic every level too.
Yeah, so we get to buy. There was never anything that dropped that was better than things that we already had.
Yeah, it was pretty pathetic. It's pretty pathetic. All right, guys. So then we had a vote, and I wanted what were the 4 things we voted on to do next?
D&D 5e,
Numenera.
Starfinder, and there was one other thing Champions. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to be Numenera, and I wanted to run it, but I got voted down, and I'm glad I did now. I'm really glad I did, because I painted so many miniatures every week, and it was a huge effort to do the game.
We had miniatures for the entire Emerald Spire, like painted up.
I collected and painted up like 300 miniatures. Yeah, in fact, I counted. It's like 315 miniatures. Now, some of them were pre-paints. So if you take away there were about 50 pre-paints, and then there were about 50 models that were mass painted by Blue Table for just practice runs, like a new artist would. So, but 215 unique, oftentimes converted things. So it was a lot. It was huge. Anyway, so then in a surprising turn of events, I'm not even the DM anymore.
I usurped the game master.
All right, so go ahead. So what are we doing now? How is it?
Starfinder is what we're doing now. I'm running the game, and I like it a lot. It's, like I said, I like it a lot more than Pathfinder just because it's simple. There's only one book we all have to deal with.
One book. Can we see the book again? Can you show it for the? Can you show it for the fans? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And this time's never coming back because they're going to start publishing supplements to it.
Right, a lot of the people I've talked to about it say they want to start a campaign or they're like just starting theirs. Like everyone's kind of just getting into it, so it's a fun place to be.
Yeah. Again, though, we're going to probably have a lot of miniatures to paint for the campaign.
Well, if we
Lots
do
of robots,
miniatures,
maybe some Infinity guys.
and I have a lot
Definitely
already. Like I gave you like a collection, I think of 150 to 200 figures to draw from.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, a lot of them came off of bluetablestore.com. Plug. Yeah. And so you're running us through the first adventure path.
Yeah, Incident at Absalom Station is what we're going to do. I think we're just going to try it as by the book as possible, in contrast to Sean's God mode.
Yeah, it was pretty out of hand.
Yeah,
well, I want to make stuff up. But this is like, I am like immensely enjoying myself.
Well, that's the really cool thing about Starfinder. You guys, once you get your ship, you can just decide to go wherever you want with it.
It never seems like we're going to get our ship. We've been running around Absalom Station. I'm an android. I'm so excited. I'm drawing on Data as my inspiration.
Oh, okay, great. That's awesome.
He's the best android character of all time. I can't think of
I get that sort of vibe from, and you've got a lot. There's lots of great role-playing opportunities.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, Sean plays two characters that are dating each other.
Yes, because I love myself. Veronica's like, that's very appropriate, actually, Sean. Yeah.
It's funny, but it's a fun cast. We've got a little. Well, you're an ace pilot, and Jonah's
Isoki, a rat person.
He's
envoy. So he's like kind of a a diplomacy type.
Yeah.
Although my soldier was rocking the diplomacy last session.
Oh yeah, you were just rolling like 18,
19, 20.
Everything.
Those are my results. Natural,
Right,
no skill at all.
The Solarian.
She's a little soused. And there. Okay, so continue.
No, you guys did well actually. Last session we played, they have to talk to some gangsters in the underbelly of Absalom Station. So
that went downhill quick.
They managed to avoid getting into a combat encounter with one of them.
Wait, was there a combat encounter with the first gang?
Oh, there could have been. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I guess you could fight your way through anything.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have attacked that little mouse. He was being chill.
Especially with
he was.
I'm a true.
Are they chaotic good? The first gang?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay, great.
Like
and then there's another gang that's lawful evil.
Definitely lawful evil.
Oh, we like opened a door and they started attacking us. Like no words even said. So
yeah, we did.
What did we do? We closed the door. I mean, it worked out. They all stayed back there. I kept waiting for them to bust out of that door and murder us all, and then they were back there waiting for us to gather our weapons. They were pretty pleasant.
Yeah, well, the scene was like this slick Tron neon bar type thing, and we're trying to talk our way into the back. And we get the guy to open the door. He's like, yeah, we'll go on in. And when he opens the door, they open fire from the other side. And we had no weapons.
No,
we had like our fists was our weapon.
Right. So, and then people were attacking us from outside the door. I really thought we were all going to go down, but luckily we just kind of put our butts up against the door and we're like, well, hopefully they don't open these again. And they didn't until we got our weapons back.
So you guys took cover.
We controlled the flow of combat pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna run a few combat trainings with my sons. You're certainly welcome to come, but like just practice the rules, know what we can do and how to.
There's a lot more actions than just basic attacks and stuff like that.
What's interesting is if you're playing it by the book. Excuse me for jumping in.
No.
If you're playing it by the book, it means our play level is really going to determine our success. Like how well we're doing.
Right.
Because if you approach it and you're kind of like, well, whatever, and you don't think about taking cover and all this, you're just going to get aced. And, Pathfinder doesn't set the skill level super high for their adventures. If you play the adventure strictly by the book, and you take, it's basically for sort of an intermediate level of skill to actually play the game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, like you're saying, there's a lot of opportunities for cool skill checks, information you guys can learn that you could just ignore otherwise that actually makes a difference. There's all sorts of stuff with like the pre-written campaigns that's really nice if you guys wanted to actually just spend time in non-combat encounters for even 2 hours. We could definitely do it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Starfinder's awesome. I love my characters. I have a lot of fun with them. In fact, I want to talk about my characters. Can we? Oh no, I'm such a nerd. I'm doing that nerd thing where you talk about the characters.
Well, whatever, go for it.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm playing an ace pilot. Here, let's do this. Hey guys, I'm playing an. Oh, that's brutal. You guys are so young and beautiful. I'm like rocking the Steve Martin. So I'm playing a female Lashunta ace pilot with no social skills and probably a soldier, like a fighter type, and she has telepathy. And then the other character I'm playing is a medic, Sheeran, who's like this bug guy, and he's a mystic, which is like the wizard of the group. And so I've changed the cosmetics on all his spells to be bug magic, like it's bug pheromones. He squirts out like bug juice, and his eyes do like weird swirl thing. That's his charm person. He's like, trust in me, ooh. Feelers and stuff. Well, that sounded better in my mind. Back to you guys. All right. So we're stoked for start. We're first level. We're pathetic. Yeah. It's going to take like 4 sessions to get to second level.
I'm so excited.
At the rate we're going.
We're going to get a ship and we're going to go explore the universe. Mm-hmm. It's going to be amazing.
The multiverse.
The multiverse.
I'm pretty stoked too. It's going to be good. Yeah, Veronica's character is obsessed with getting a ship.
Oh yeah, I need to get out there. Well, I'm an outlaw, which nobody in our party knows yet.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, it's not great for me to hang out. I want to get out. Yeah, I want to get out. Well, it could be. We don't know what happened. You'll find out.
I always thought it'd be fun to take, watch episodes of Star Trek, convert them to whatever you're doing, and make that into the adventure.
Oh, as soon as we go
do an episodic thing.
Think about
Are we going to go off the rails?
We can.
So we're not doing the adventure path then.
Well, I was going to ask you guys whatever you wanted to do.
I want to do at least 2. Like by the book.
Kind of let your characters make decisions, and then if you end up like verging or you don't necessarily want to go.
Oh, so we don't know
that guy or whatever.
If you're inventing things all of a sudden.
That's the way I was going to do it.
Well, that's ideal, right? It all seems
so
legitimate.
So if you just naturally decide you just want to we're not going to do that combat encounter or whatever, and that's the end of the campaign. Then.
Well, I guess if your DMing skills are sharp, we'll never know the difference.
Oh, here's the thing. Like you're saying, there's so much sci-fi I have to pull from. Star Trek episodes, Stargate episodes, like...
Babylon 5.
Right,
I've seen them all.
I wanted to do a fantasy game where I didn't tell the players, but it was based explicitly off of Stargate. But all I did was change the cosmetics of it. And so see how long I could run it until they figured it out. Instead of a circle. A big square, sure. Yeah, like a portal. You go to different planes of existence. You know, interesting. Well, guys, thanks for being on. You know, I think the fans get sick of my face after a while. I mean, it is beautiful, but you can have too much of a good thing. So, and the other thing is that, you know, I have my artist coming through and I never have the camera out. So people can't see what a vibrant little group we have.
Oh, we're always
it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at it from, let's say I just started working for you and I'm a lady and I show up at a house and then you have a camera and I'm like, this is all very strange.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
It's like, yeah, welcome to a Craigslist. And yeah, actually, I did have an interview where the gal showed up, and I didn't think about it. I just had a tripod in the background. And then I was like, oh yeah, hey, come on upstairs. Let me show you the workshop and stuff.
Red lights.
And then going up the stairs, I turn around and I'm like, you realize you're responding to a Craigslist ad and you're headed upstairs.
Oh.
And she's like, she seemed unconcerned about that. So there you go. Well, you know, you can kind of vibe people out. So yeah, it's all good. All right. Well, thanks for coming. Thank you for bringing that up, bro.
Just so that you're aware.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't have the tripod. I don't remember, but I did think of actually having it up having it up, and then like when artists came in, like just doing something on the spot, you know, for like 2 minutes even.
Well, once you know someone, it's totally different.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Bye.